So I know every single team in the off season is going 15-0. Everybody's going to be excellent, but I need y'all to take y'all's homer head off
Mm-hmm.
and tell me realistic expectations for this year.
Okay.
Great.
I can do that.
Fantastic. Great stuff, Matthew. I've got mine. To me, 8 wins is a great year. A great year.
Yes.
And you beat the people you're supposed to beat, and maybe I don't expect Hugh Freeze in his first year with this roster to beat Alabama or Georgia. I don't.
No.
I expect him with this roster to win the ones he's to finish top half of the West.
Okay.
I think that's 8 wins. Now you're finishing ahead, or because you've got Alabama, you've got LSU, you've got A&M, you've got Arkansas. Auburn should be better than Arkansas, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss.
Right.
And am I leaving anybody else out?
No. And you got your 4 non-conference games, and you swap out Penn State for Cal, so there shouldn't be an issue winning into your 4 non-conference games. Granted, you got to go to the West Coast to play.
Hold on. Say that again, J-Head. 4 non-conference games, which includes
Cupcake, and Cal. Okay. Cal's your Power 5 team. Cal replaces Penn State. I think you've got Sanford as an FCS team. Let's just pull up the schedule real quick. And we'll go.
There you go. But Auburn should Auburn fans, J-Head, should Matthew expect Auburn to go 4-0 non-conference?
Yes, 100%. You should. And if they don't, to go 4-0,
then he should be somewhat disappointed. Yeah,
in my opinion, yes.
Okay, so there's 4 wins. You're halfway to 8. Now you got to find 4 SEC wins. Cole, can you find 4 SEC wins?
There is a weird dynamic, by the way, to this Cal game, just because it's in Berkeley, and it's an early game with a new staff and whatnot, and we don't know the quarterbacks. You know, there's a lot of things. So that's a weird one, but Auburn should win that game. I mean, Auburn without a head coach should win that game, right?
Right.
Yes.
I don't want to go quite that far, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got your schedule whenever you guys are.
Go ahead, J-Head.
You got Vanderbilt on the schedule.
Hold on, Zach.
Yes.
SEC win.
There you go. There's your 4th one.
Easy.
So there's 5. So you got 4 non-conference. You got Vanderbilt's 5.
Yep. All right. So let's go. UMass win, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Cal win.
I say win.
Sanford win.
Yeah.
At Texas A&M.
I'm not ready to say win yet.
That's the 4th game of the season?
Mm-hmm. 4th game of the season. I'm going to say loss.
Okay.
Right now.
Hey, Matthew, wants you to take
even though, now, let's see how Bobby Petrino and Jimbo work out, because they could be in a cage match on the sideline by the time we get to that 4th game.
It could go one of 2 ways, J-Head. They could be in a cage match and it doesn't work at all. It's a disaster, or it's going to be one of the best offenses you've ever seen.
I agree.
The wheels might be coming off too.
There's no in between.
No, it's either going to really hit or it's going to be a disaster. Either way, you're going to want to watch Texas A&M this year.
So Texas A&M, I'm not ready.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to go loss so far.
Yeah, me too.
Georgia.
Loss.
Keep it competitive.
Yep. At LSU.
I'm not ready to. Yep, I'm not ready to chalk.
Loss. All right, now we get
to 3-3.
You're 3-3, and now you get Ole Miss coming to town.
Ooh.
But do you know how lit Jordan Hare is going to be that night?
That's a win for me. That's a win for me.
That's a dub. And I promise you this: if anybody doesn't think that Hugh Freeze has that game circled on his calendar, he can say whatever he wants in the offseason. Hugh, I love you. I don't believe you. If you tell me that game doesn't matter, I don't buy it, brother. I'm sorry, man. And I don't buy it for the Auburn fan base either, because they want a piece of Lane Kiffin for as much as he runs his mouth on Twitter. They want every bit of it, man. But I'm with you.
4-3.
That one might resemble the Egg Bowl a little bit.
Yeah. This is we're going back to the tube steak days when Ole Miss really meant something, right?
There you go.
All right, 4-3 after Ole Miss.
4-3. Now we got a chance at some momentum because guess who's coming right back to town? Mississippi State. You go Mississippi schools back to back. Now we're at 5-3. Now you're going to Vanderbilt.
It's a win.
Now you're 6-3. Then you get in at Arkansas. Now that could be difficult.
I would say that's a win right now.
Me too.
I think they lost. I think they lost a lot of key players. I think that's a win for Auburn. They want to. I can't see us dropping that game. Right.
That's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. You got to win that one.
Let me throw a wrench. I'm gonna say the loss, the weird loss, the one that really doesn't make sense is Mississippi State, and they win at Arkansas.
Okay. So Cole's got
Mississippi State's kind of had Auburn's number these past few years. If we're being honest.
And listen, they've got the new coach. Pirates die. Okay, so let's keep going. Cole's got you at 6-4. I've got them at 7-3.
See, to me, I'm with you, Jay Lee. We're 7-3, or no, 6-3. I'm sorry.
You're
7. No, it's 7-3.
Yeah. Beat Arkansas.
Well, if you beat Arkansas, you're 7-3.
Mm-hmm. So you've won 4 in a row.
Yeah, you've won 4 in a row. Then you got New Mexico State.
Ooh, there's your 8
win.
That's a dub. You're at 8, and then you go to Alabama.
Keep it close.
An L. Yeah,
8-4.
That's an L. Yeah, that's 8-4. I'm going to say 7-5 because I'm going to create some margin for error there. I think that we do drop one, but I think you get to 8 wins with a bowl victory, and then it's about what happens off the field. Do you create the momentum you need on the recruiting trail and show enough proof of concept on the field to capitalize with a top 10 recruiting class, and then also another top 10 portal class off of what you put on tape this year? That to me is success. If you can get to 7-5, 8-5, or 8-4, 9-4, that is a successful season to me in year one of the Hugh Freeze era.
So back to the logic trail from the caller of, what was exactly the question? How many wins does it take?
Take your homer hat off. What's your expectations should be this year?
Okay, let me tell you why the expectations are different. So y'all remember we sat here and we talked about how it seemed like that number for wins for Brian Harsin in the second season just kept going up. Hey, he's got to win 8 if he wants to keep his job. Shoot, I'm thinking 9. We kept going up with it, and we were right. He won 6 and he's out before he ever got the chance to finish, right? So that had a lot to do with recruiting, if you ask me, the reason he didn't get to finish that season. Well, now there's a renewed life in recruiting, no doubt. So that changes expectations with the football season too. And you're talking about the first season. So there's some leeway there anyway.
Absolutely.
Right. And we all know it's a rebuild. You don't bring in 12 transfer portal players into spring practice if there's not a rebuild on a roster. So there's some hope that's going to keep maybe a 7-win record positive for Auburn's fan base in a way. It's not going to be fun, but you go, well, there's hope. At least there's hope. It wasn't there last year.
Yeah. I completely agree. And listen, to me, Harsin's second year, I was optimistic about Harsin's second year, and here's why. You look back at his first year, and what do you go, 5-7, or was it 6-6?
It was 6-7.
6-6, right? 6-6.
6-6, and then we lost in the Birmingham Bowl.
And every one of those losses except Georgia, were winnable games.
Yeah.
Right. And all they needed was that little bit to get over the hump. I was optimistic going into that second year, and then it was just like, okay, this is not working out. All right, and nobody had hope. There was no hope in recruiting. There was no hope for the future. But like I said, it goes back to confidence in the staff. I have confidence. I had confidence, kind of like I did with Gus's first 3 or 4 years. I mean, I felt like Auburn was going to be competitive with Gus Malzahn at the helm.
Yep,
I agree. And look,
technically they were at least competitive.
I think
every year. Until they're at the end. Yeah.
And I think Hugh also benefits from the schedule. Let's be honest. You're dropping Penn State for Cal. That's a major change in competition. And who did we play from? Like all right, so you played Penn State last year. Now you're replacing Penn State with Cal on your schedule.
Who was the SEC East team last year?
Missouri.
Now that's kind of all right. So you get Vanderbilt. You had Missouri last year. Yeah. That's probably a push.
I wouldn't want to play Missouri this year. I'd rather play Missouri last year. I would rather play Eli last year than I would this year. No,
because Eli they improved down the stretch.
Yeah.
I think Missouri got to 6-6.
That was the other thing that took hope away. It just took the air out of the sails for that team last year. You looked around, Missouri, even Vanderbilt landed a 4-star guy or a couple 4-star guys, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was building up, and it felt like Auburn was just right here.
Flatline.
Yeah.
Complete flatline.
There's nothing to be excited about, right?